Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Today we would like to present our discussion and our discovery about idioms in TV series and movies. We choose one specifically movie series named Harry Potter. But before we started, we would like to introduce ourselves first. My name is Nasywa Falah.
My name is Novran Arya Putra.
My name is Sintia Sari.
My name is Khalisha Nuha.
Dah.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Hungry, not to worry, I'm coming with you. This expression is used to reassure someone who is nervous, scared, or unsure. It tells the person that they don't need to worry because the speaker will go with them and not let them face the situation alone. Hangrit, hang on. The idiom hang on means to wait or to hold on for a moment. It is used when someone needs a short pause before continuing. This expression is informal and commonly heard in everyday conversation. Starting hat better be Gryffindor. The idiom better be express the most suitable or fitting choice in this skin. The sorting hat used it to show that after considering all options, Gryffindor is the house that matches Harry best. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Arthur Weasley it's not mass, but it's home. This expression means that a place can be simple or small, yet still feel warm, safe, and meaningful. It shows that emotional comfort matters more than size or luxury. Arthur Weasley, what were you thinking? The idiom "what were you thinking" is used to express strong surprise, frustration, or disbelief. When someone has done something reckless or false, it doesn't literally ask for an explanation instead. It shows that the speaker feels the action was irresponsible or dangerous. Is this skin Arthur Weasley used to show his shock that Ron would risk his safety by flying the ancient car to Hogwarts.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry enough talk remarks. This is often asked in movie scenes when someone wants to stop the discussion and take action immediately. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry comparing someone to a cockroach. Meaning comparing someone to a cockroach, a dirty, disgusting animal, means that person is considered very bad, cowardly, and immoral. This is an idiom often used to insult someone by comparing them to a lowly animal. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Headmaster of Hogwarts. If chosen, you stand alone. Idiomatic meaning to stand alone, to face something without the help of others. In context, Dumbledore explained that if someone's name comes out of the goblet of fire, they must face the Three Wizard tournament alone without direct support from others. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter, you must go to the Portrayal. An idiom meaning to reach or go somewhere as quickly as possible, usually as in emergency or important situation. In this sense, head for the portkey immediately because it's the only way out.
Next is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Moody, Padfoot, are you barking mad? You will blow the entire operation. Barking. This idiom is used to call someone crazy when they are acting irrationally or taking extreme risks. It expresses criticism and emotional disbelief rather than a literal question. This type of idiom is metaphorical insult. Sirius Black. They suffered a fate worse than death, you ask me. This phrase describes a situation so terrible that death would seem preferable in comparison. It is used to emphasize how frightening or unbearable the outcome might be. This type of idiom is hyperbolic metaphor. Malfoy. What did I tell you? Complete neuter. Harry. Just stay away from me. Complete neuter. A slang expression used to label someone as totally insane or extremely unstable. It conveys harsh judgment rather than a neutral description of someone's behavior. This type of idiom is British slang idiom. Ron. Illuminating. What a lot of waffle. Harry. What's it mean? Waffle is a British slang word that means nonsense, not food. The phrase a lot of makes the meaning stronger. Together, a lot of waffle is an idiom, and you cannot understand it just by looking at each word. And this type of idiom is slang idiom. Harry, I'm fine. Ron, Seamus was bang out of order, mate. This idiom is used when someone has behaved in a rude or an unacceptable way. It communicates that the action has crossed a line socially or morally. This type of idiom is behavioral judgment idiom. Hermione, Forbidden Forest. Ron, not bloody lightly. A strong refusal showing that something is very unlikely to happen. It usually implies sarcasm or disbelief and often expresses irritation. This type of idiom is British fixed rejection idiom. Next is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Slughorn. Yes, of course, but you're not leaving, are you? Dumbledore. Oh, I think I know a lost cause when I see one. Regrettable. A lost cause. A figurative idiom expressing that something has no hope of success, regardless of effort. The literal phrase, cause, shift toward a judgment on a person or situation that cannot be fixed. making it non-compositional because the meaning cannot be interpreted from the individual words alone. This type of idiom is slang idiom. Ron, anyway, that's that thing, told her she was being barmy. Being barmy, a British slang expression implying that someone is acting silly, illogical, or unreasonable. The word barmy does not describe mental illness literally, but operates metaphorically as a light-hearted insult, adding humor and informality in the judgment of someone's exaggerated reaction. This type of idiom is British slang idiom. Dumbledore. Oh, to be young and to feel love's skin sting. Love's skin sting, a poetic metaphor that compares emotional heartbreak to physical pain. The noun sting evokes sharp injury, while the adjective keen intensifies the painful impact. The idiom captures the bittersweet intensity of young love, suggesting that affection can cause deep suffering alongside joy. This type of idiom is metaphorical idiom. Ron. Don't get me wrong, I'm bloody thrilled to be shot of her. This British idiom means you feel relieved and happy to be free from someone who made you tired emotionally. Shot off doesn't mean really shooting, it just means escaping or getting rid of someone in a joking way. Slughorn. Merlin spared Harry. A magical word exclamation equivalent to "Oh my god!" expressing sudden shock or surprise. The idiom does not refer to an actual bird, but invokes wizard Merlin as a cultural reference, giving the expression a strong emotional impact and reinforcing the fantasy setting of the dialogue.
The next one is from the seventh movie, The Deathly Hallows Part 1. Addressing the elephant in the room. In this scene, the idiom is used to denote an act of addressing the main issue of a problem, which people usually neglect or avoid addressing. In the meeting with the Death Eaters, the loyalists of Lord Voldemort, only Professor Snape was serious and concise enough to deal with the matter at hand and address the problem. Everybody else avoided tackling the problem for fear of angering Lord Voldemort, and as a result, was only speaking to prick the eyes. Next one, the idiom is "the world doesn't revolve around you." This is an idiom that is used to remind someone that the scope of a problem doesn't exclusively rely on one person. This might also be used to remind someone that they should not overestimate their importance. In the 20th minute, in this scene, Ron reminds Harry that although he is the chosen boy who is the key and the biggest chance they have at defeating Lord Voldemort, he should not think that he alone can defeat Voldemort without any outside help. The next idiom is living under someone's shadow. This idiom is used to describe a person who is less popular than somebody else, despite having a relatively close relationship, such as brothers or siblings. In this scene, Harry asks a person about who might have details about the late Professor Dumbledore, to which the person reveals to Harry about Dumbledore's brother named Aberforth. Harry, who was a very close student to Dumbledore, then admits of having no knowledge of his brother. inferring that the world must know even less about this brother. Next idiom is crossing behind enemy lines. The idiom behind enemy lines is used to describe someone who does an activity while being situated inside enemy's territory. In this scene, Harry and his group goes to the Ministry of Magic, the camp of the enemy, where a Horcrux or a sacred item is likely to be kept. After stealing said item, as his team's disguise wears off, they rush towards the nearest exit to lose the captures that are going after them. Next one is returning a favor. This idiom is used to denote an act of doing someone a favor in response to a favor that had been done by the other person. On the 2 hours mark, in this scene, Dobby is an elf who had been freed from the control of the Malfoy family by Harry Potter and friends. As an act of respect, now Dobby returns the favor by freeing Harry and his friends from the same house that he was formerly a subject of. For the last one in the part 1, the idiom is die on a hill. This idiom is used to denote someone who is persistent in his belief, holding and defending that belief until he dies on a proverbial hill. Now in this scene, Dobby declared that he is a free elf who defends the freedom of everyone equally. And then after dying as a consequence of an escape attempt from the House of Malfoy, Harry and the group decided to honor Dobby with a simple but sincere funeral on a nearby hill, making the idiom comes full circle. Next one comes from the 8th movie, Deathly Hallows Part 2. The idiom is backed against a wall. This is an idiom that is used to describe when someone faces an approaching difficult situation with very limited option to deal with said situation. After the scene of Dobby's burial, Harry and his friends decided to act quickly at finding Horcruxes, the sacred items in the sacred places. After a bank heist gone wrong, Harry found himself amused by the security guards and hid behind the walls as they argued on how to deal with this situation. Next idiom is double crossing. The idiom double cross means to betray someone or betraying someone's trust, but especially for the benefit of someone else, rather than betraying for self-benefit. In the attempt that Harry tried to infiltrate Hogwarts, which at the time Hogwarts had been fallen into the hands of the Death Eaters, Harry then revealed himself while proclaiming Snape as the traitor who had killed Dumbledore, and thus letting Voldemort's force of Death Eaters take control of Hogwarts. The next idiom is the calm before the storm. This idiom is used to denote a situation of relative calmness before a disaster strikes. Following Snape's escape and the liberation of Hogwarts from the Death Eaters, the professors, staffs, and students of Hogwarts prepare themselves to defend against the imminently approaching army of Death Eaters led by Lord Voldemort. Likewise, the army of Death Eaters are preparing their best attempt to take down Hogwarts, although the situation is relatively calm compared to the fightings that follows. It is by no means peaceful. The next idiom is at a crossroads. This idiom is used to denote a situation of having to make a great decision. Idiom is originally used to refer to choose between two impactful choices, although it has drawn a new meaning of making any decision in general. Following the death of Professor Snape and Harry's revelation as an unwitting Horcrux, Harry has come to decide between waiting Lord Voldemort to reveal his last Horcrux or just confront him face to face. Eventually, Harry decided the latter. The next idiom is Return of the Prodigal Son. This is an idiom that is used to describe the return of an infamous negative figure. Originally in the Bible, the prodigal son in question returns to his father to ask for forgiveness and redemption. But nowadays, the idiom itself has evolved to take on a new meaning, which omits the redemption part. In the scene following Harry's alleged death, Voldemort returns to Hogwarts to retake and reassert his dominance there, as he once did when he was a student who dabbled in dark magic. And for the last of the 8th movie, the idiom is passing the torch. This is an idiom that is used to denote the act of passing a legacy onto the next generation. 19 years after the death of Lord Voldemort, Harry as well as other Hogwarts students of his age had now become parents, who were seen sending off their children to study at Hogwarts. Harry's son, in particular, named Albus and Severus, named after the two most inspiring figures in Harry's life, went on to carry his father's as well as his namesake's legacy.
So the conclusion of our discussion is Harry Potter is a film series adapted from a book series contains many idiomatic expressions based on the British English language, owing to the location where the movie takes place. Some of the expressions used by the characters have been altered to fit the setting of the movie, which was set in a different magical part of England. The movie series, owing to its nature as a visual medium, inevitably has lost some characteristic of the prose it was adapted from. However, by being a visual medium, the movie also gained an advantage to portray idiomatic situations not only through dialogues but also by the situation and the scene currently taking place. Okay, that's all for our discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much and see you later.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Okay.